Hello, friends, and welcome to the Drama Club, in which the revolution will not be televised. In today's episode, we welcome each other as the newest members of the JG Jennifer Garner fan club. And then Stef tells us the very complicated and tragic story of a Miss Patricia Hearst, aka 70 Stunt Queen,
Tanya.
on this week's Drama Club.
What up, fam? It's good, y'all. Feels good, right? Yeah, I know it, dude. And without further ado, we broadcasting live from CA to NY.
What up, comrades? Before we get started, it's your girl May with a dramatic announcement. A lot of you guys have been hitting us up and asking when our stickers would be available, and that day has finally come. We love making this podcast, and we love that now we're friends with all of you because of it, and it's crazy to us that so many of you want to rep the Drama Club like that. Anyway, so we want to continue to grow the podcast, and you guys are a huge part of that, and we can't thank you enough for the reviews and the word of mouth that helps bring more people into the Drama Club family. So we've got a lot of things we want to do to keep improving the podcast, like making a website and upgrading some of our equipment, very professional stuff. We're running a very legit operation over here. So if you're enjoying the podcast and want to donate to keep the drama coming, for every $2 you send us, we'll send you an official The Drama Club sticker and a handwritten note. Stephanie has beautiful penmanship, by the way. She writes like she learned to write at a summer camp for moody teenage girl graffiti artists. So yeah, $2 gets you a sticker. $4 gets you 2 stickers. You want to sprinkle a little bit more cash on top of that? That's cool too. We wouldn't be mad at it. Shout out to all you potential sugar daddies and sugar mamas out there who want to keep the tea flowing. So if you want to support the podcast, PayPal us at our email, dramaclubpod@gmail.com. Or you can go to paypal.me/dramaclubpod. Make sure you include your shipping address, and very soon you'll be receiving a special delivery from us, the Drama Club. We love you all. Thanks again for all the support and words of encouragement. We literally couldn't do it without you guys. And now, back to our regularly scheduled drama.
Hey, baby, I like it like that. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance.
I like proving that I was wrong. I do what they say I can't. I don't know.
Good job, May.
What'd you do today besides work?
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I made fun of Mateo like 3 times on his Instagram. Did you see?
I saw one. Where he posted a text that you sent him or something.
Yeah, and he was like, he got all mad at me. He responded in all caps, "What is wrong with you today?"
That's funny. And then it did sound weird for him to be like, "My aunt is
I know,
messing with me or something."
Aunt? What the shit? What am I, 90? My great aunt.
You know whose mom's still alive, which is, I feel like this is a good sign. Cher.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And her mom looks good.
Wow. Well, good for them. Damn.
That's that Armenian bloodline, dude. Or I think maybe her mom, or maybe her dad is Armenian. I don't think her mom is Armenian.
Half.
Yeah.
She's half white, half Armenian.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's why Kim K's all up her shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Do you know this because you started working on a Sonny and Cher episode?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, dude. I've always known that Cher was Armenian because of her Behind the Music.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at this picture of Cher on her Wikipedia.
Ooh, love it.
It's all glamour shot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sometimes I feel like 80s glamour shots are either go one of 2 ways. Like they look bomb as fuck, like that.
Yeah.
Or they look ratchet as fuck.
Well, I think you can't go wrong if it's in black and white.
True. It's because it's like the colors of the makeup that they was in style at that time are they are sketchy.
I ate a vegan hamburger today.
Oh, was it the one the Impossible Burger?
No, not that one.
Oh, where'd you get it?
I got it from Chloe. It's like this vegan restaurant that they have here and in New York. It was pretty good. It had like had avocado. It had like corn in it.
Oh, okay. Nothing about a vegan hamburger sounds appealing to me. I don't like hamburgers that much anyways.
What?
Yeah, like I don't really like, that's not something that I'm like interested in eating.
Yeah, I did it. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed they had like beet ketchup because I fuck with anything
Oh, yeah.
beet.
Beets are delicious.
And they had like a chipotle aioli. It was bomb.
Oh, that sounds bomb.
I can't believe you don't like hamburgers.
I don't like fries, so it's like just the whole thing is not my vibe.
Yeah.
The best hamburger I've ever had. Joel said that the hamburger at the Big Mick at Petit Trois is probably his favorite one he's ever had. Mm-hmm. But my favorite one is at this restaurant called Arc in Costa Mesa. The $20 hamburger is not on the menu. It's so fucking amazing.
It's $20?
It's gigantic. Like the fucking, it's like made of Kobe beef.
How are you going to pay? You don't even like hamburgers? How are you going to pay $20 for a hamburger?
Because somebody told me it was crazy good. And I was like, I trust you, my dude. I don't know why. But everything else he was eating looked like he knew what to do. So it was fucking amazing.
Hey, you know what's cray? That
what?
People are stuck on Hawaii right now. You like barely got off the island.
I know. A couple people have been telling me like, wow, you really missed the hurricane and stuff. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm pretty glad. I would be freaking out because I'm a big ass weenie.
Yep, you show are.
Joel said he heard about it like right before we left and he didn't want to tell me anything.
Oh, that's smart.
Good move. But like some people that we know are on some of the islands right now, and I feel really bad for them because it's all cloudy and windy and hurricaney and
yeah.
That's not what you want out of your trip to Hawaii,
right? Although
Hawaii,
I would like the drama of it. Like,
yeah, it would be pretty dramatic. Yeah, imagine people watching.
yeah, exactly.
They must be going nuts right now.
What will happen to it? What will it be used for? What can money be used for? What is money anyway?
All right, dude. Welcome to
I eased you enough into it, man. Yeah, you eased me enough into it.
Oh, well, tit for tat.
Okay, Aunt May. What the fuck?
What's wrong with tit for tat?
I don't know. What was that other weird thing you said to us one time? You were like, don't change donkeys midstream or some shit.
You know what's a weird thing that people used to say? They used to say, how do you do?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Like, what do you do? Or like, how am I doing? Like, what does it mean?
It means like they would
how are you?
It's like nice to meet you.
Oh, what?
Yeah. They'd be like, hi, I'm May. I'm Stephanie. How do you do?
Oh, okay. Well, guys, this is the Drama Club. My name is Stephanie.
And my name is May.
How do you do?
How do you do?
That's how Jerry Seinfeld says it.
How do you do?
How do they do? You know what's funny is I really like Jerry Seinfeld.
No, I do too. I have one gripe with him, which is, I mean, aside from the whole teenage girlfriend incident, is that he's like literally the worst dressed person on earth.
He always wears Shocks, like Nike Shocks. Why? He's like gotta be the only person keeping that shoe alive.
And dad jeans and like a
blazer,
oversized blazer.
You know what I do like about him is he's very like no nonsense.
Yeah, like the Kesha thing.
Yeah, like he's just like he seems like a grumpy Jewish dude.
Yeah.
I kind of like that vibe. Like when John Mulaney tells stories of how when he was a kid, he was already like grown as fuck.
Yeah.
Did you watch the new season of Comedians in Cars?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, John Mulaney has an episode and he's telling Jerry, like, yeah, like, I knew my childhood was weird because one time when I was like 11 years old, I went to go watch a film by myself and then I went to the diner and I had a bowl of matzo ball soup while I read the newspaper. And then I went home like a divorced 50-year-old man. Like he went to have this afternoon by himself.
That sounds like a delightful afternoon. That's like
not
my
for an 11-year-old.
That is my ideal afternoon.
Me too. But I fucks with some matzo ball soup.
I do too. Like definitely at a deli, you know. My grandma used to make it for some reason. And I mean, it was cool, but I like to go out of my way to have it for some reason.
Yeah,
you know?
You gotta have a rotating thing of pies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's some giant Reubens.
I gotta be eating. I was gonna say eating a newspaper, reading a newspaper.
I gotta be eating a newspaper in a trash can, and I gotta be named Oscar.
How are you liking La Casa de las Flores?
Oh my God, May, it's really great,
isn't it?
Yes, I like the way the oldest sister talks.
Yeah. Oh,
ay papá, no me digas papá. Why should she talk like that?
Se me olvidó cancelar los mariachis.
Yeah.
Yet for thousands of years, people did get along without money.
What are we gonna do for Hot Topic?
I feel like for Hot Topic, we gotta do Ben Affleck.
Thank God, because I'm dying to talk to you about it.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Oh God. I can't believe she got her star on the Walk of Fame like the day before she had to drive her ex-husband to rehab. So the big news this week, May, which I couldn't wait to talk to you about, was Senor Affleck.
Yes. AKA Batman.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is back in rehab, which, I mean, good for you, dude. Like, whatever it takes.
Yeah, for sure. You got to take the steps to take care of yourself and your kids to be a better dad or whatever.
Exactly.
But this shit's hilarious.
I woke up to Stef furiously sending me photos of
I know
Jennifer Garner driving Ben Affleck to rehab
because he looked fucking crazy. He was in the back seat. Why was he swollen? That's the first thing Joel asked me too. He was like, "Did he get beat up?" And that's what you thought.
Yeah, I think he did get beat up. He must have gotten into a fight with somebody.
Like maybe that's why she stepped in and was like, "God damn it."
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what happened. My favorite thing is that they have pictures of them stopping at Jack in the Box and her like handing him a bag of food.
Yeah.
That was so funny. That means he was still drunk for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the only time I would ever eat Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box is trash. Of all the fast foods, it's the worst one.
But they have curly fries though.
Oh, that's true. The curly fries and the tacos are the only thing to go to Jack in the Box for.
When I was a kid, we would go there every once in a while, but I would hate it because my parents would always be like, "Jumbo Jack," and I was like, "It's a Jumbo Jack."
My parents like going to Burger King, and they're Whopper.
Yeah, we used to go to Burger King too, like after church on Sundays. Like, because it would be, I think the Whoppers were like $1 or something.
Yeah, they're so cheap. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, throwback.
Yeah. So anyways, Jennifer Garner had to pick up her ex-husband after he spent all week with a 22-year-old playmate.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
You know,
drive his ass to rehab.
Like I said before, I don't particularly care for Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
But I like her now because this is so funny. This is like
some ride or die shit.
She was like just so like like disgusted with her ex-husband. She's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like,
I hope she cussed that full out.
I know she did. I know she did. There's photos of her because she had an intervention on Wednesday night, and by Thursday morning she was like, no, we're going to rehab. So you know he went on a bender Wednesday night, and there's pictures of her like walking in and out of her house or whatever, like just like ugh.
I hope she was like, you're a piece of shit. Did you like fucking that little girl?
Yes. Did you get points for it with your Capital One Venture card? Fuck you. And then I also love that she was like get fucking dressed, get in the car. We're going to rehab right now. But we will stop at Jack in the Box.
Yeah, like he's totally a kid for sure. But that's awesome.
And then did you see the pictures of her like hanging out around town the rest of the day?
She was all happy.
She was all happy.
Yeah. She had a big ass smile.
Yeah, she looked great.
Her fucking skin was all fresh.
Yeah, she wasn't wearing any makeup and she was like glowing. She was like, he's gone.
That's awesome. Good for her, dude. She's a good fucking person.
She is. And she seems like she's a good mom.
And
she's a good
she's
wife.
definitely too good for him.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm team JG now. Jennifer Garner.
JG, baby.
You got yourself a new fan here.
You got our vote, JG.
It is money which makes possible our complex international society of business, trade, and travel.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys the story. I feel like I keep doing these kind of little stories and you keep doing like Latina little stories. But anyways. Okay, I'm going to tell you the story of Patricia Campbell Hearst.
Patty Hearst.
Yeah.
I fuck with Patty Hearst because you know that she breeds Frenchies.
Yeah, I forgot about that she like one of her Frenchies won like the
best in
dog show, right? Yeah. A few years ago. That's hilarious.
Fun fact, I fuck with dog shows.
Yeah, dog shows are fun. On Thanksgiving, that's a thing to watch.
Hell yeah.
What you gonna watch? The stupid ass parade? Like we haven't fucking seen roses before?
No, that's not the Rose Parade, dude. It's the Macy's. That's the one with the balloons and shit.
Well, I hate those.
That one's stupid.
Yeah, and the dog show's on at the same time. So why the fuck would you watch that?
The Drama Club, the official podcast of dog show.
Because you love that movie Best in Show too.
Oh, I love Best in Show.
Anyways, this has nothing to do with dogs. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about Patty Hearst.
Cool.
I got a lot of this from Jeffrey Toobin's book, American Heiress, a PBS documentary, and a couple other documentaries I found on YouTube, all the Wikipedias.
Yeah.
And I also found a bootleg copy of the SLA Manifesto online, which was fun to read.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So first, let's talk about her grandfather in order to put some perspective on who this woman was and in order to understand the impact and fascination of what happened to her.
Cool. I just listened to a podcast on this.
The Hearsts?
Yeah. On
William?
On Patty.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it was like a 6-parter, and it had
fuck.
And there was also recently a CNN sort of like special.
So that was in connection with that book, American Heiress.
Oh yeah, I like Jeffrey Toobin.
Yeah, it's the one that she would not give an interview for that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
He says some things. Anyways, we'll get to it. Mm-hmm. So her grandpa, William Randolph Hearst, was a publisher, but not just a publisher. He was the publisher.
Yeah.
He was born to a millionaire gold mine owner and U.S. Senator George Hearst.
Do we don't have like famous ass rich ass people? I mean, like there are rich people on Earth, but there's no one whose name is like synonymous with wealth like that anymore. Like, you know,
not in our generation, right. At least not yet. I don't think
there are no like Rockefeller. You know, like, and the Hearsts
maybe
were
Steve Jobs, but even then, I think it's more so the Apple Corporation than him. Yeah. So he created Hearst Communications with the help of his wealthy father, first by acquiring the newspaper, the San Francisco Examiner, which was owned by his father. So his dad gave him that that newspaper. His father had acquired the newspaper the old-fashioned way, meaning someone gave it to him as repayment for gambling debt. It must be so fun to gamble if you're super rich.
Hell yeah. You like I wonder if it was like poker or what, like,
right? Yeah. And you're like, I put up my grandfather's newspaper. I put up the original Ford. That shit's crazy. These odds are wild. Go fish, motherfucker.
I see your nickel and I raise you the Empire State Building.
Okay, so Patty's grandpa Will Hearst's management of the San Fran Examiner blew the newspaper up, and he obtained crazy talented writers to work for him, including Jack London and Mark Twain.
Wow.
He also popularized the newspaper by publishing not only the news, but human interest story and emphasized sensationalism. This had never been done before him. He used huge headlines like an all-capital, bolded letters, Ben Affleck looks fucked up on way to rehab. I would pick that shit up for sure.
Like, you know, in the movies and in TV and stuff, when like a headline, it's spinning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Batman loses war. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, he used progress crusades. He published cartoons, which had never been seen in newspapers before. And he found a way to appeal to a larger audience other than the just basic ass news.
Right.
This is later named yellow journalism.
Mm-hmm.
His success with the San Francisco Examiner led to a purchase of New York's Morning Journal, which led him into a full-on war with the other famed publisher of the time, Joseph Pulitzer.
Wow.
As in the fucking Pulitzer Prize.
Hell yeah.
And Senor Hearst then opened newspapers in Chicago, LA, Boston, and all around the United States.
Okay.
By 1925, he owned over 20 newspapers, and then he got into books and magazines. So he wasn't just a businessman. He was a businessman.
Okay, cool.
He purchased magazines like Cosmopolitan, Good Housekeeping, Harper's Bazaar, Town and Country. You name it, he owns it.
Hey, good for you.
I've never flipped through an issue of Town and Country.
I think you have to be white.
Yeah, low-key, that magazine seems racist in the way that pumpkin spice lattes do.
Oh, it's definitely more racist than a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, it seems racist like Polo.
Yes.
I once saw a cholo in a wheelchair read a poem about pumpkin spice lattes at an open mic.
Really?
Yes, it was called PSL.
What kind of wheelchair? Like a electric one or a?
It was a regular one, a handheld one.
Go ahead. I go to this, or I haven't gone for a little while, but I used to go to see patients at this dialysis center, and there were two cholos that I would see there, unrelated to each other.
Okay,
who would
two unrelated cholos.
Both of them would listen to CDs on little boom boxes.
Amazing.
Like with headphones. What is that?
Because we haven't come up with anything more convenient than that.
Right. It's so weird. It was the weirdest thing. Like one would be listening. I walked by and I saw his CD case and it was like Metallica. And like the other one, I forget.
Oh, I like rock cholos.
Yeah.
I like that vibe.
They were a little older, you know? But like, what the fuck? Little boom boxes with headphones?
That is so weird. Well, the dude that I'm talking about, actually his name is Obed Silva, and I'd like to give his podcast a shout out. It's called Eastside Rose. He's a professor of creative writing at East LA Community College, and he has really great stories and is a really great storyteller.
Ooh, so is Pumpkin Spice Latte, is PSL a good poem?
Yeah, it was funny. And that same performance or whatever you want to call it that he did, he tells a story about how one time he was wearing a Raiders jersey at a bar and some dude came up to him and he was like, "How we doing?" And he's like, "What?" And the dude was like, "What's the score?" And he's like, "Man, I wear this because it's thug attire. I don't know shit about football. I'm fucking reading." Because he has like a PhD and shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So back to Patty Hearst. She has nothing to do with the Raiders or cholos or pumpkin spice lattes. It's important to highlight that the newspapers the Hearst family owned did very well during World War II because they always stood fiercely against communism even before the war. Their family had a huge amount of political influence because of their publishing work, obviously, and the way they were able to control the media.
Yeah.
More on that later. So Will ultimately ventured into film, and by the end, he had created the largest publishing business in the world. With his free time, he collected art, homes, and basically set up his family, his family's family, his family's family's family for generations and generations to come.
Cool.
Like you said, these are some fucking polo playing, caviar tasting, fur wearing in a class of their own level wealth. Mm-hmm. In 2016, the Hearst family's net worth was estimated to be $28 billion.
Wait, in what year?
2016.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. So Hearst is a name, like we were saying, that means something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, more so like JP Morgan, the Riveras.
I was going to say May, Stef.
These names carry a weight with them and dollar signs as well.
Yeah.
We need more of those though.
We need brown ones.
I want JP Morgan level dollar signs.
I'm not going to be that greedy. I want some Mitt Romney level. Like,
Mitt Romney level dollar signs? Like you want to run for office unsuccessfully and then fucking still be famous and shit?
Yeah, post up in my house in Montecito next to Oprah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Have 12 sons?
Maybe not 12 sons, just 12 men in my house.
There you go. Hey, low key, shout out to Mitt Romney's sons. Some of them are really good looking.
My friend Josh, doesn't he look like he could be one of Mitt Romney's sons?
Yo, shout out to Josh, but he do not. Yes. No. Yes. No, he don't,
He's
man.
just generic white.
Generic milk. That's an inside joke. Okay. So Will had a son named Randolph. I'm never going to get to Patty. Will had a son named Randolph who had a daughter named Patty, who is the main character of today's tale.
Okay, cool.
She was born in San Francisco on February 20th, 1954. She went to a private high school and then college at UC Berkeley. Mm-hmm. My high school lover went to UC Berkeley, so it holds a very special place in my toilet.
Please don't use the word lover.
What else should I use him? The fuck boy I fucked with in high school went to UC Berkeley.
What if he listens to the podcast?
Then I would say, listen to something else, motherfucker, because you didn't want to listen to me then, and you shouldn't listen to me now. You shouldn't have that goddamn privilege to listening to me now. Anyways, I couldn't even get that out. There's so much fucking resentment in there. So like I said, her grandfather left her father with considerable wealth, but theirs is the type of wealth that is large when you consider all of the Hearsts together. And I think the actual individual families aren't as rich as you think.
Right.
So they weren't the type of people that needed extra security or whatever.
Right. And
So,
but
go
you
ahead.
know what? I think that might be different today.
Right.
But I think at the specific time where this shit is about to go down, it was true for like
them.
Yeah.
Right. So Randolph and Patty's mom, Catherine, they were all for Patty attending this public college and experiencing life. She lived in an apartment off campus with her then fiance, Stephen Weed. So Patty was living her nice little well-off family life from ages 0 to 19 when something fucking crazy happened.
Mm-hmm.
On February 4th, 1974, 19-year-old Patty was beaten unconscious and then kidnapped from her apartment.
Wow. Okay.
A woman knocked on the door and requested assistance. Other unknown parties then forcefully entered her apartment and began to beat her and Stephen.
Wow.
Machine guns were fired into the air in order to help subdue her into the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Several neighbors also allegedly started screaming and tried to intervene, but they were all subdued as well. She was basically defenseless once everything started. Her fiance was also beat so badly he had to be hospitalized. Patty ended up blindfolded and kidnapped from the apartment. So she's 19 years old.
Was that was the goal from the beginning? They wanted to take her.
They wanted Patty,
Okay.
yeah. What we later found out is that Patty was abducted by an urban guerrilla group named the Symbionese Liberation Army, or the SLA.
Mm-hmm.
You may be feeling like Patty and asking, who is the SLA? Well, I will guide you through this, and not blindfolded because I'm not that much of a bitch.
I like their outfits, low key.
Oh, we'll get to that,
Okay.
man. We're going to jump around a little too, so try to keep up because I can't slow down because I have shit to do. It's Friday. I got to go get drunk.
Hey.
So the SLA was a new left revolutionary organization that was first formed in 1973. They were formed as a result of a couple of radical groups meeting through prison visitations.
Wow.
As well as being kind of a response to the Vietnam War, but I don't want to give them that much credit.
Okay.
Primarily, the radical groups involved were the Venceremos organization and the Black Cultural Association program.
Mm-hmm.
So the Venceremos were an American radical political group which began as a Chicano organization in early 1969. I don't like the way I said Chicano right there, but...
Chicano. They were...
Chicano.
And their main things... The main things that they were worried about were pumpkin spice lattes. And
Yeah,
the Raiders.
score. They advocated for armed self-defense of the citizenry, community control of the police, and for a reform of the prison organization. Their ultimate goal, however, was to overthrow the United States government.
Wow. So they were anarchists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At their peak, they opened a community college for 2 years through funding.
That's cool.
And the United States considered them a very serious threat. The Venceremos were way more legit than the SLA ever became.
Yeah. But see, all of these groups are so complicated. They often had good intentions and like they they did some fucked up shit because I mean fucked up shit was happening to them too. And I'm talking about the SLA, I'm talking about the Black Panthers, I'm talking about like all these people. Like it sucks. Like it was a volatile time.
Yeah, it's a sketchy time in the United States for sure.
Yeah.
In 1972, the Venceremos had collapsed after they ambushed a police car transporting their member Ronald Beatty to a court appearance in San Bernardino. 2 of the officers in the car, one was killed and the other was wounded by them.
Oh, fuck.
Beatty then turned around and testified against all of them in trial.
What?
Yeah, what a dick, right?
Yeah. Well, that sucks.
So by 1973, they're pretty much donezo.
Yeah.
This brings us to the Black Cultural Association.
Mm-hmm.
This is where things start to get kind of sketch to me. The Black Cultural Association, or the BCA, was an African-American group founded at the California Medical Facility at Vacaville State Prison.
Mm-hmm.
La Vaca. Moo.
Where's Vacaville? Isn't it like...
It's like up north.
Yeah, okay.
It's like Petaluma area. Quite literally, Vacaville. Its purpose was to provide educational tutoring to inmates in conjunction with graduate students from the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. It was an officially recognized prison group through the help of the tutoring system put in place for them by Professor Colston Westbrook. Remember that guy's name.
Okay.
Tutors provided courses on math, reading, writing, art, history, and basically everything to these fools. But in time, the radical politics infiltrated, and Professor Westbrook allowed activists to attend meetings, in particular white activists, which is interesting to me because this was a Black group.
Mm-hmm. And this was a prison group. So this was within the walls of the prison.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was recognized by the prison. Like, prison members were allowed to go attend this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Something about college students and criminals don't mix well. Okay, so one very important member of the BCA was a man by the name of Donald DeFreeze.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Trump.
I wish. Because this fool dies at the end. So anyway. What is that called? Spoiler alert. Donald DeFreeze was close with Professor Westbrook. Mm-hmm. He is the man who would ultimately form and lead the SLA. DeFreeze was, interestingly, the only African-American member of the SLA.
These sound like Batman villains.
Right?
Donald DeFreeze. Professor Westbrook.
Patricia Hearst. DeFreeze was born in Ohio to an abusive father who broke both of his arms not once, not twice, but thrice as punishment.
And he still became a professor?
No, DeFreeze. I'm talking about the criminal now.
Oh, okay.
The guy who was just a member.
Oh.
DeFreeze dropped out of high school and ran away from home. By the age of 19, he was a gang member. He became a young father of 3 from his first marriage and said that the worries of supporting children and a family engulfed him.
Yeah, I bet.
His early criminal record includes hitchhiking, possession of a sawed-off rifle, negligent discharge of a firearm, possession of illegal fireworks. In 1967, he was stopped for running a red light and police found a homemade bomb in his pocket.
Oh, fuck.
He was placed on probation. His probation officer described him as having strong schizophrenic potential and a fascination with firearms and explosives.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, he definitely... You can't be both of those things, my dude.
Nope, it is not going to be okay for you. In 1969, DeFreeze was found on the roof of a bank with 2 pistols and a dagger. This interview is over. The police found a hand grenade nearby. What he posted bond and fled.
Why does he need 2 pistols? Who carries a dagger? The fuck?
Yeah, seriously. 1 month later, he was injured in a gun battle with police outside of a bank. And he finally got landed in jail. Okay. Finally.
Well, thank God.
I know, right? Like, we had to go through all that.
Yeah.
While incarcerated, he was an active member of the BCA, like I said, coordinated some of the first contact between them and the Venceremos organization, and founded the urban guerrilla group known as the SLA. Mm-hmm. The SLA described their belief system as the unity of all left-wing struggles, feminist, anti-racist, anti-capitalist, and others.
Sign me up. That sounds
right?
good.
Exactly. They wanted all races, genders, and ages to fight together in a left-wing united front in order to overcome the government and live peacefully.
Hell yeah. Somebody get that baby a dagger.
Nice idea, bad execution. Like Maymay said earlier. Do people not know what urban guerrilla warfare is? Like, do I need to explain that?
No, I think it's self-explanatory.
Okay. For example, other guerrilla groups within the United States include the Black Panther Party and the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. So DeFreeze escaped from prison on March 5th, 1973 by walking away.
Wow. Let him go. Let him go. That's the official take of the drama club.
Yeah. If you escape, you get it. You get your freedom. He was ordered to work as an inmate on something that was outside of a perimeter fence of the jail.
Oh, okay.
He was transferred to this job and recommended by Professor Westbrook.
Huh.
The first day he was assigned this new job is the day he walked away.
Okay. All right. I don't like it. This smells a little fishy.
Sketch, right? Seems sketch, guys. Shouldn't be able to walk away from prison. I don't know why. Just something about prison tells me you shouldn't be able to walk away from it. Once out, he reached out to some venceremos and made his way to a commune in San Francisco. The commune set him up to let things blow over following his escape from prison, and he started planting the foundations for the Symbionese nation. The founding members of the SLA are Donald DeFreeze, William Wolfe, who was a grad student tutor for the BCA, Russ Little, additionally a grad student tutor, Bill and Emily Harris, and Angela Atwood.
And they were African Americans?
No, only DeFreeze was African American.
Oh, got it. Okay.
In November 1973, so 8 months after DeFreeze's escape and 2 months before Patty's kidnapping, the SLA planned and then executed the murder of Oakland Public School Superintendent Marcus Foster.
Oh, no. Why?
They killed him using hollow point bullets that they packed with cyanide.
What the fuck?
Is that necessary?
That is so extra. What the fuck?
Is that, can I ask you something? Is that because, like, does that mean, like, if the bullet doesn't hit something lethal, the cyanide will ultimately then do the work?
Well, I can't imagine how much you're saying they were dipped in cyanide, or they were...
No, they were hollow point.
Oh, so they were filled
packed with cyanide.
Yeah, the cyanide would, like, if it got into your bloodstream, it's a wrap.
So even though, like, they hit you in the fucking leg or whatever.
Yeah, if it...
Okay.
I mean, if it stayed there for long enough, but...
Right.
You know.
They did this because Marcus Foster, the school superintendent, wanted to introduce identification cards in Oakland schools, which the SLA considered to be fascist.
I agree with that, but I don't think someone should
die because of it?
Yeah. What the fuck?
The SLA immediately made a statement following his death, taking credit for it, and this is the first time anyone in the world has ever heard of the group.
Okay.
Joseph Romero and Russ Little were arrested and convicted of the murder. They were basically caught with the murder weapon, literally red-handed. Then the police found revolutionary literature and SLA material.
Wow.
7 years later, Little's conviction was overturned and he was acquitted, but Romero is still serving life at San Quentin.
Wow. Why was his conviction overturned?
Because he didn't actually
pull the trigger.
He didn't have actually anything to do with the murder. He was just an accomplice, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. The rest of the SLA then went into hiding at a safe house. And now this brings us to Miss Patty Hearst. Okay. After Little and Romero were arrested, the SLA began plotting the kidnapping of an important figure in order to negotiate the release of their comrades. The kidnapping was planned for the full moon of January 17th. Shout out Aquarius or whatever the fuck sun sign that is. I hate that shit.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Go on.
So like I said, they busted in and kidnapped Patty. Hearst was chosen, obviously, due to the high profile of her family, but also, sadly, because she lived close to their commune.
Yeah.
That sucks, right?
And also because she's an easy target.
Right. She's young. She's, rich. So she probably never thinks about shit like this, like kidnapping. You think rich people think about shit like murder and bank robbery and kidnapping?
I think they think about that sort of level of wealth. I'm sure they think about kidnapping because, you know, they have like
that's true,
kidnapping insurance and stuff. But I'm sure you're not thinking about it every day.
You're not thinking about like mugs, like getting mugged on the street.
Right.
For sure. Okay. So the SLA stayed silent for the first week of Patty's kidnapping, and her parents pled in the news for her release or any sort of communication that she was alive or anything. They thought she might have been killed. They didn't know, you know? Mm-hmm. They just know that she had been taken because Steven was there and he had seen it go down.
Yeah.
9 days after the kidnapping, her disappearance was the #1 story in the United States. That's right, Bruno. On the 9th day, the SLA allowed Patty to speak to her parents via audio tape. Also, the SLA fucking loved releasing audio tapes like Lil Wayne, like dropping demos back in the 2000s. Like, this was their fucking...
I was going to say like Omarosa in 2018, dropping new audio every day.
Little bits of audio here and there. So in this audio tape, Patty says she's okay and she's not starved, beaten, or frightened. She does say that she's blindfolded but not uncomfortable. She sounds super weird and passive in all of these recordings and keeps repeating that she's okay. Actually, it's funny that we were talking about Casa de Flores. She kind of sounds like Patricia. Mm-hmm. Like all monotone and low and kind of like bored.
Maybe they gave her drugs to keep her calm, you know?
Exactly. She said the people keeping her were willing to do anything, and she wanted her parents and the FBI to stop trying to find her because they're endangering her.
Oh.
She told her parents that it would be stupid to charge in. DeFreeze then gets on the tape at the end and advises the Hearsts and the FBI that whatever happens to Patty is her family's fault and the government's responsibility. If she dies, the blood's on their hands.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's super fucking scary. Okay, so the SLA also attached a letter to this recording. Like I said, their first intention was to leverage the Hearst family's political influence and wealth to free Little and Ramiro. Mm-hmm. Additionally, the SLA demanded that the Hearst family distribute $70 worth of food to every needy Californian, which was estimated at the time to cost around $400 million.
Okay.
Patty's father took out a loan and arranged a donation of $2 million worth of food to the Bay Area.
All right.
The day before the distribution was set up, DeFreeze sent out another audio tape and said, "This isn't good enough." He said, quote, "You're throwing crumbs at the people."
Also, I think it's important to note that he took out a loan to do that.
Yeah, so he didn't have liquid cash to do that.
Uh-huh.
And exactly. So he gives another statement, another like a news statement, and he says he can't do any more than what he's done right now.
Right.
Then the Hearst Corporation stepped up and added $4 million to the food distribution program in exchange for Patty Hearst's safe return home.
Yeah. Okay.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So a 19-year-old girl in California is worth $6 million, just so everybody knows.
That's not what I'm worth. I'm also not 19 anymore. I'm not a spring chick.
The food distribution took place 19 days after Patty's kidnapping. It ended up causing fucking chaos within San Francisco.
Wow.
People started rioting. They started jumping on the trucks that were being sent to deliver the food packages. People started throwing like the cabbages that were inside of the bags and shit at each other. And at the police had to arrest several people. It was a shit show.
Don't throw fucking cabbage. Cabbage is bomb.
Cabbage is delicious.
Yeah.
Anyways, the SLA stayed silent another 9 days following the distribution. And remember, the Hearst family set that up because they thought that they were going to release Patty following it.
Yeah.
The SLA turned their back on the agreement. Mm-hmm. First, I don't believe the full terms of the agreement were met. Mm-hmm. Second, you really shouldn't negotiate with criminals, seeing as they aren't the most trustworthy people on the planet.
And also, I mean, if what they say their goals are true, then
this was nowhere near.
Well, but what I mean is, like, they wanted to affect change and help, like, you know, poor people be able to eat. Okay, like, being a reasonable human being, you would say, like, okay, well, they did what we asked. What more could they want, really?
Yeah,
you know,
unless you're delusional.
Yes.
Cheers. Another interesting thing is that the FBI was kind of not as involved as the SLA had hoped.
Interesting.
They weren't as interested in baby Patty Hearst as so much so as they were interested in stopping the SLA.
Yeah.
The Hearst held another press conference telling Patty to pray. Like, so now the negotiation, went awry, didn't go as planned. So they hold a press conference outside their home. They're saying, please keep praying, stay strong. Their statements are nice to watch because Mrs. Hearst has this fantastic giant 1950s hair a la Betty Draper on crack.
Okay, cool.
And her dad looks like Colin Firth in A Single Man.
Oh, wow.
With like Coke bottle glasses and stuff.
Yeah, that's how my grandpa looked.
Yeah, they're also very sad. And this statement in particular is very sad because her mom starts crying and walks away. So they cut everything short and Randolph Hearst follows her into their home.
Oh, I could never give a press conference like that.
Hell no, no way. They're very strong for doing that.
Yeah.
During the first week, Patty was kept blindfolded and bound in a closet.
Wow.
So we're jumping back a little bit because now this is all according to Patty's later testimony. Mm-hmm. She said that DeFries repeatedly threatened to kill her in the first week. Then she started being let out for meals while still blindfolded, and she began to join in with their discussions.
Oh, okay.
So the members of the SLA ended up giving her a flashlight with some of their guidebooks, so to speak, for her to study. Mm-hmm. Hearst was still being kept primarily constrained to a closet for a few weeks before DeFries let her know they were thinking that they'd either have to kill her or she could join them. So she should start thinking about that.
Yeah. So how long? A few weeks?
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Okay.
She says that she decided then and there to accommodate all of her thoughts with theirs in order to save her life.
Of course.
Yeah. When they finally asked for her decision, she said she wanted to stay and fight. Mm-hmm. After her declaration, they removed her blindfold for the first time in weeks, which is the first time she sees any of them.
Fuck. Yeah.
She was immediately thrown into an odd type of training and given lessons on her duties, including weapons training, weapons drills, and another female member guided her through what they described as the sexual freedom within the unit, which led to Patty being raped by members Willie Wolf and then DeFries himself.
Wow. Okay.
Something shitty later is during Patty's trial, the prosecution tries to hone in on the fact that Patty kept a trinket that Willie gave to her at one point. So they tried to show that as them being in an actual romantic relationship and her never being raped by these guys.
Motherfuckers, that's impossible.
Exactly.
No, period. You can't consent. She couldn't consent.
Of course not. Did you not just hear me say that she was just being unblindfolded for like the first time in weeks?
Yeah, and threatened with follow the rules of our organization or death.
Right.
That's fuck.
2 months after her abduction, the SLA dropped their next mixtape.
Okay.
They sent out recorded audio of Patty Hearst announcing that she heard her parents' statements and they are jeopardizing her safety. The food they distributed was low quality. She doesn't believe that her parents are doing everything they can and that she knows they have enough money to help her. She has been given a shotgun and she knows how to use it now. She was issued a cyanide shot in order to protect herself from the FBI. She has joined the SLA movement because it's the FBI, not the SLA, who want to harm her.
So, question. At this point in time, is it a pure self-preservation or is she brainwashed?
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
She says, quote, I am fighting for my freedom and the freedom of all people because we aren't free until we're all free. I have been given a choice and I have chosen to stay and fight. Along with this audio tape, the SLA sent newspapers the infamous picture of Patty Hearst in full revolutionary gear holding a military-grade assault rifle that was sawed off in order to shoot at a closer range while standing in front of their red Cobra flag.
Okay.
This picture of Patty yielding the gun in front of the flag became one of the most famous photos of the 1970s.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. In this statement, Patty says that she has assumed the name Tanya, which was inspired by Haiti Tanya Biter, who was the only female comrade of Che Guevara and spy during the Cuban Revolution.
And Tanya Harding, of course.
Of course. She ends the tape by saying, quote, "Patria o muerte, venceremos."
Hey.
Or our country or our death, we will prevail.
Yes.
This is gigantic fucking news. Newspapers are going wild. What the fuck went wrong?
Well, I feel
Her
like
parents.
now, I think that if this were to happen today, that
we would understand it more.
Right. But because this had never happened before, people were like, what? Like you said, what went wrong? Like today we would be like, all right, she's in trouble, you know?
Yeah. Stockholm syndrome. So her parents are crazy shocked, obviously. They said right away, they're like, we don't believe this. We've had her for 20 years and the SLA has had her for 20 days. There's no fucking way she's changed this rapidly and this drastically. And then they pretty much try to stay inside of their home because they're being honed in by photographers and reporters. Yeah. And they vocally say their daughter is clearly a victim of brainwashing.
Yeah.
Patty's fiance also keeps speaking out and he says, you know, I love her. She's sick. She's exhausted. She's being used and humiliated by people who are determined not to let her out alive. Okay. So now she's in, right? She's announced that she's in at least. She's going to fight and she's been kidnapped for over 2 months.
Yep.
Then on April 15th, 1974, 71 days after Patty was kidnapped, she helped the SLA rob a bank and it was all on camera.
Yeah. This
footage is infamous.
Yeah, this is awesome. You really you see her walk into the bank.
Yeah.
She got the gun.
Yeah. Eyewitnesses say that this bank robbery was extremely well planned. These were not common criminals. Several members of the SLA were in trench coats, bell bottoms, and boots, entering the bank with armed guns and took control of the location. 2 members of the public were shot. The SLA got away with over $10,000.
Was that a lot? Probably.
To be honest, 10,000 was a disappointing number for me.
Really?
1974? Yeah, but this is a bank robbery. Like, in my head, bank robbers average, like, what, 75, 50K?
Back then?
I don't know. It's a bank robbery.
I think in Saturday Night Fever in, 1977, I think that the prize money that John Travolta wins at the end or whatever is, spoiler alert, I think it's $100 and he has to split it with his dance partner. And
yeah, but that's a dance competition, May. This is a fucking bank robbery. I thought people walked out of bank robberies like Scrooge McDuck with a pipe holding bags with dollar signs on it. What the fuck? $10,000? I could spend that in fucking 2 weeks.
You think Patty Hearst, you need 2 weeks to spend $10,000? Oh,
I was being generous.
You think Patty Hearst was like, oh, you guys are cute, $10,000?
For sure.
You know how many Frenchies you could buy with $10,000?
This isn't heavy at all. Patty Hearst is immediately identified in her badass trench coat participating in the robbery. Yeah. She aimed her gun at 8 employees and customers and yelled at everybody to stand down. She announced herself as Tanya. A bank guard said that girl looked like she was ready to shoot anyone and anything.
Yeah. Well, in her defense, I mean, if she went in there and she didn't do all that, what do you think would have happened to her later? Exactly.
Days later, the SLA drops their next single, vocaled by Patty, regarding the robbery. It says, quote, "Greetings to the people. This is Tanya." Now I can't stop thinking about Tanya. I did the triple axel and fuck you. Fuck you to my haters.
We demand 70,000 scrunchies.
Okay. She says, "My comrades and I expropriated $10,662.02.
Wow.
From the Hibernia Bank."
Hey, who was the petty teller that threw in 2 cents?
Shout out to that teller.
You want all the money? Oh, here you go.
Okay.
all of it.
Oh, you gonna shoot me? Okay. Stand down, Tanya. All right.
Side note, do you know what I was thinking about the other day? I was at the bank. I have literally in my life never had a bank teller that wasn't pregnant.
Where the fuck do you go to the bank? What are you driving to fucking Whittier to the bank? You live in Silver Lake.
Yeah, and I went to
Rich people don't have kids.
Yeah, but the bank tellers don't live there. They're from Whittier.
They're from Whittier. This chase is actually part of our Reach Out community project. We bus in our tellers from Whittier, California. Oh, you don't know what that is? Don't worry. I see you just came from Chloe and you got the vegetarian burger. How was it?
Delicious.
Okay. Okay, fuck. So what does she say? Okay, so she says, as for my ex-fiance, I don't care about him anymore. Me either, Tanya.
Once you go black, am I right?
She says, for those who believe that I am brainwashed, I see no reason in having to defend my position. I am a soldier in the people's army. Patria o muerte. Venceremos.
Right.
After this, the robbery and that statement, the public lost most of their sympathy for her. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Attorney General Will Sachs made a statement following the robbery saying Patty is not a reluctant participant in this movement. She's a common criminal. All participation in the robbery appeared to be voluntary. However, afterwards, people think exactly like how May says, like, what do you think would have happened to her if she didn't participate in this robbery? Mm-hmm. And the FBI found still photos where SLA members are pointing guns at Patty during the robbery.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, in a still photo, it's kind of hard to see.
Exactly.
Also,
that's why I say that, because it might have been just them turning around.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, so 1 month after the bank robbery and 102 days into her kidnapping, Patty, she's kidnapped for a hell of a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Patty and 2 other members of the SLA attempt to shoplift a sporting goods store in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
A gun fell out of the waistband of one of the other members while they were trying to escape, and Patty runs over to the gun and discharges the entire magazine of the automatic weapon into the storefront.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's a fucking member of the SLA. That's why.
You have to earn your beret. So, like, you got to start, like, shooting, bang, bang.
The manager shot back and Hearst was blasting at him.
What?
Yeah. The 3 members took off, and in doing so, they abandoned their car.
Okay.
Due to a parking ticket on their car.
That's why they abandoned it?
No, but this is how police find them.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, they went outside, there was a parking ticket, they were like, fuck that, we're not paying it, left the car.
The police investigated the neighborhood where the van got the parking ticket, and then they found the SLA hideout.
Shit.
In a South Los Angeles neighborhood.
Ooh, okay.
On May 17th, 1974, 350 law officers surrounded the SLA hideout. Yeah, this was serious shit.
Yeah. Well, we know that they were heavily armed. You know, they were
right,
and they were quite
and they
literally
want to fight the
police. Exactly. They're like a legit. They're an army. They're like
they're fucking ready for this shit. When the police approached, they demanded that everyone surrender. No one knows if Patty is inside at this time, and the FBI by no means appears to take any additional precaution to save her life if she is inside.
Because at this point, they're like, well, she's one of them.
Yeah, you know, because she robbed a bank, she shot at this guy at Sports Max or whatever the shit.
So even if something does happen to her, well, that's what she gets. She's one of them.
Yeah. They threw a tear gas. Is it tear gas or tear gas?
Tear.
Okay. They threw a tear gas can. Oh, yeah, because it promotes tears. Duh. Okay. They threw a tear gas canister inside the home, and the SLA immediately opens fire on the police.
Fuck.
In the ensuing gunfight, the house catches fire because of the fumes from the tear gas canister.
Oh, my God.
Donald DeFreeze, Nancy Perry, William Wolfe, Patricia Solsick, Angela Atwood, and Kamala Harris are the 6 members in the house.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Camilla Hall.
Oh.
My bad.
I was like, our senator?
Okay. Not our senator, guys. Is she from South Los Angeles?
No, I think she's from the north.
Okay. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so they had to crawl through a hole in the floor because the house caught on fire.
Oh.
So they crawled through a hole in the floor beneath the house where they continued shooting at the police, and the police continued shooting back at them.
Wow.
The crawl space then caught fire itself, and everybody died from either fumes or the fire.
Everybody died.
Everybody died. All 6 of them.
Jesus. Okay. So all of these are the top level.
Yep.
Okay.
Donald DeFreeze was the last member alive, and remember, he's the leader.
Yeah.
And the coroner said he likely was burning alive when he decided to commit suicide by shooting himself in the head.
Jesus.
His family was unable to identify him due to the severe burns on his body.
Oh my God.
Yeah. At first, people thought Patty had died as well, but she was not present. Like I said, she was at fucking Sports Chalet shoplifting the I'd rather be revolutionizing plates or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So following the shootout, the only remaining members of the SLA are Patty Hearst, Emily Harris, and William Harris. And they're a couple. They're like a married couple.
Okay.
But they've started it with, what's his face, DeFreeze, too. So they're top 2. And at this point, Patty's pretty much top 2.
Well, especially now that everybody's dead.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly, they began to actively recruit people to join their army. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't return to the house, obviously, because it's fucking burnt down. Mm-hmm. So they were broken homeless, and they hid and squatted around the neighborhood.
Okay.
Emily made her way to UC Berkeley, where she interviewed an athletics coach who had been requesting membership in the SLA. This guy's name is Jack Scott. Mm-hmm. He basically brings them back to life by giving them money.
Don't trust anyone with 2 first names.
Right? Anderson Cooper, we looking at you. Is that 2 last names? No, 2 first names.
Anderson and Cooper? Yeah, that could be a first name.
So let's cut to now 9 months later. They pretty much like went kind of quiet for 9 months because they were broke and shit. Mm-hmm. February 4th, 1975, exactly 1 year after the kidnapping of Patty Hearst, the SLA and Patty have not been heard from in months. People are in the news speculating in regards to her whereabouts, in regards to her condition. The Hearst family took a very, very heavy toll, especially her mother.
Could they verify for sure that she wasn't in the burnt house, though?
Yeah, they did.
Because it sounds like it was, like, pretty bad, you know?
But ultimately they did. They were able to. Like, the family couldn't recognize him, but DNA tests all confirmed them.
They had DNA back then?
I don't know, bitch. I'm just talking out my ass.
Okay.
You don't have to call me out like that, though. That's fucked up. I thought we were friends.
Might be.
Okay, so her father, so Patty's mom enters like full-time care because she can't take it, you know?
Yeah.
This is the worst thing.
Wow.
Her father, meanwhile, continued to speak out as often as he could, talking about he thinks she's still alive. And like for a while there, they thought she was dead. And he gives an interview at this time also where it's very, very sad. He looks very somber and at one point mutters quietly, I don't know, I think you start to feel numb after a while.
I bet. I'm sure this was exhausting.
Yeah, you must... Ugh, so horrible.
Because you lost your child, you have to deal with people judging you.
Yeah.
Law enforcement, I'm sure, like, it's just horrible. Worst case scenario.
For sure. The SLA committed one more bank robbery in Carmichael, California. Patty was the getaway driver for this bank robbery. The other member, Emily Harris, ended up shooting a woman who died. She was making a deposit at the bank.
Oh, fuck.
This event made Hearst liable for felony murder charges.
Whoa.
Okay. So on September 18th, 1975, or 592 days after her kidnapping, Patty Hearst was picked up by the FBI in their San Francisco hideout and taken into custody.
Okay, she's safe.
Yeah, she's safe.
Okay.
As she's handcuffed and led outside of the house into the police car, she raises her fist in salute.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Patty Hearst gave her occupation upon entering jail as urban guerrilla.
Same girl.
She weighed 87 pounds and a physical revealed low IQ.
What?
Yeah. But isn't the IQ test bullshit? Haven't we determined that now?
It's not like the be all and end all of anything. It's just like, you know, it sort of gives you a ballpark idea. But also, I would imagine if she were like PTSD and shell shocked, that it would give you a false impression of her IQ.
Okay, so yeah, she definitely was PTSD, and there were clear signs of trauma when she had the physical, including large gaps in her memory with her pre-Tanya life.
Yeah.
Heavy smoking, confusion, and nightmares.
Wow.
Patty's parents were so thrilled when they filmed them walking into the jail to see their daughter, and they're smiling from ear to ear. They're super happy. They give a crazy happy interview after the reunion saying that Patty was very happy to see them. So now we get like both sides of it, because while she's walking in, she throws her fists up. She says she's a gorilla, but then her parents say that she's super happy to be back with them too.
But you know what? That psychologically, it maybe seeing them like snapped her out of it.
Maybe.
To an extent, maybe.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe, yeah. Patty was charged with the first bank robbery that she participated in, and as she was the only surviving member of the SLA that had participated, she was the only person charged for that crime.
Fuck.
Yeah. Her defense was coercion and duress, affecting her intent as well as involuntary intoxication because she was being given drugs.
Yeah.
Brainwashing explicitly as a defense to a crime had never previously been used successfully in court. However, they did have a brainwashing expert, Luis West.
Okay.
After trial, Mr. West wrote a letter to President Carter requesting that Patty be released from prison because she was a classic case of coerced POW.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking is she's like a POW.
For sure. They're an army. She's a prisoner.
Yeah, yeah.
So duress/coercion was basically the closest brainwashing type excuse they could use. Mm-hmm. After being in jail for a few weeks, Patty vocally repudiated her SLA allegiance.
Yeah, so they deprogrammed her.
Right. At trial, the judge held high credibility to all the mixtapes she dropped, especially the one after the robbery and the video of her participating in the robbery. Mm-hmm. Her defense tried to analyze that Tanya's statements and actions were not that of Patty. The judge also allowed prosecution to enter into evidence a recording that was taken of Patty after she was put in jail when a friend came to visit her and she was yelling at her friend regarding her revolutionary beliefs.
Interesting.
The prosecution tried hard not to mention the kidnapping at all during trial and really just focused in on her active participation in a clearly like a robbery, there's a fucking video of it. Like there's no, this fucking case is over.
There's
I mean?
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Let me question Patty Hearst. Hey, is that you right there in that video committing that robbery? Yes. Yeah. No further questions, Your Honor. The prosecution rests. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Patty testified that the SLA members demanded that she actively and enthusiastically, like you had said, participate in the robbery or they would kill her. Unfortunately, Patty was very heavily medicated following all of this while she was in trial. So she was not a good witness on her own behalf. Mm. Her testimony was lethargic and impassionate, and it was super hard for her to leave a long-lasting impression on anyone.
But she had to take the stand because she's the only one who could give context.
You're right, but it's also very dangerous to put exactly what you fear happened to Patty.
Yeah.
She went up there and she fucking flopped.
Yeah.
And if you're a great witness, that will make or fucking break your case. I guarantee you.
Right. But how do you mount a defense? Like, you just have experts? Just the doctors say she was a POW and that's it? I mean,
in this case, yeah, because there's basically, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that she participated, right? Like, she actively participated in this. So their only defense was coercion/duress.
But my thing is, how do you enter that into evidence besides the experts? She has to.
She has to. Yeah, for sure. Ultimately, Patty Hearst was found guilty of armed robbery and use of a firearm to commit a felony and was given the maximum sentence of 35 years in prison, pending reduction at final sentencing.
Okay.
Then her judge died right before final sentencing. So a new judge stepped in, reevaluated everything, and gave her 7 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Judge.
R.I.P. Judge. She immediately filed an appeal because even 7 years was no way. She didn't want to serve any time.
Yeah.
She was held in solitary confinement for most of her imprisonment for security reasons and then was released on bond in 1976, November of 1976.
So she did 1 year.
She did a good amount of time. And can I just say, this whole thing, is like 2 years of her life. No, I'm sorry, 3 years. She was kidnapped in 1973.
Yeah.
So this is crazy to me that this happened to her. I mean,
Yeah,
fuck. And that she seemingly is okay, you know, fucking breeding dogs and shit. After they got her out on bond, her dad hired over a dozen bodyguards.
Oh, it's too late. Who's going to do it again?
You don't know, dude.
What are the chances?
You're just so scared. It probably was for her mom's sake.
Yeah.
Her appeals were denied and the Supreme Court declined to hear her case. The Harrises were convicted of kidnapping and served a grand total of, guess.
Kidnapping. He did 4 years, she did 3 years.
8 years in prison.
Both?
Total.
Oh,
So you were close. Here's a fun connection. Representative Leo Ryan was collecting signatures for the release of Patty when he made an impromptu visit to Jonestown in Guyana and was murdered.
Wow.
After the Jonestown murder, there was a lot of criticism of the judge and Patty's trial, and people said, clearly 900 people were brainwashed by one man, and we accept that as true, but we cannot accept that this single girl was capable of being brainwashed by a group like the SLA.
Yeah.
President Jimmy Carter stepped in and commuted Patty's sentence to the 22 months she served. Oh, she served 22 months, man. Shit, over a year.
God damn.
Yeah. So he commuted her sentence, so she didn't serve any additional time.
Shout out to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, for real. What a great man.
A hero.
Yeah. President Ronald Reagan was often proposed pardoning Patty, but he did not. Ultimately, it was pupusa-loving President Bill Clinton who pardoned Patty Hearst on January 20th, 2001, his last day in office.
Hey.
The actions on the behalf of Patty taken by the fucking presidents of the United States were widely viewed by the public as an example of wealth and privilege in action.
I mean, I'm sure that her wealth and privilege brought her to the attention of those men, but I mean, I agree. I agree with commuting her sentence, and I agree with pardoning her. It's a terrible thing that happened to her. Yeah,
it was horrible. Hasn't she fucking suffered enough?
Right, exactly. And that's literally what pardons are for.
So here's my big question. And in the beginning, before I started really researching any of this, I was totally like how you've been while I've been telling this story. Like, well, she's a fucking victim. Like, she's Stockholm syndrome. Like,
yeah.
Like, obviously, like, if this went down like now, we would see things differently. But Jeff Toobin and a lot of the stuff I've read got me thinking. Did the millionaire heir turn revolutionary? She did a whole lot of talking and interviewing once she was taken out of jail.
Yeah.
She said the SLA used to tell her the FBI didn't care about her, her parents didn't care about her, and they were the only people that cared about her. She said she understands how the public believed that she was very into the SLA, but she doesn't feel sorry for how things went down for them. She knows it's hard for everyone to understand because it's hard for her to understand how she got in so deep and how she thought that way for so long.
Yeah.
She didn't see how twisted she got. But she knows that she wanted to stay alive, and she just thinks she did everything in her power to make that happen.
Yeah, which I think is different from being brainwashed.
Me too. In her trial, her memoir, and every subsequent interview, she has maintained that she was abused, she was coerced, and she feared for her life. She's appealed to the masses of sympathy who want so badly to believe that this all-American California rich girl had no choice but to join or be killed. But I don't know. Well, because when you take some of her individual actions, they don't make sense.
Well, I think that at some point she was brainwashed. She was. When that happened in the timeline, I couldn't tell you. But I also think that at least in the beginning, it was just a survival technique. Like, I'll do what they tell me because of this, you know? And then at some point it becomes like, okay, no, I believe these things.
I don't know. Because she, while blindfolded, began talking to them and participating in their group chats. And that's why they gave her the choice to stay or be killed.
In their group chat.
they added her on the Apple group chat. SLA bitches.
Well, but if you were in that situation, I feel like you might try to talk your way out of it. you know? And I think that might be a tool in which
Maybe.
you might try to achieve that. All right, let me try to talk to these people. Oh, yeah, you say that? That's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I'm not shocked by that. That's okay.
Okay. She was a vocal member of this organization for 19 months.
Yeah.
It's hard not to see the stuff she did, the words she said at point blank, and recognize that she was a revolutionary and maybe not a victim. The romance of revolution in the 70s was really strong.
I mean, it still sounds sort of romantic to me. Like,
yeah, in theory, there's a reason. Exactly.
Right.
There's a reason we see the outlines of Che Guevara plastered on posters, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and shit.
Yeah.
People like to think of revolution as this counter kind of, dare I say, cool type of movement to stand up to the government, to fucking take over, to literally fight for your fucking life, because those are the odds, patria o muerte.
Yeah.
What people don't like to think about, especially when you're young and dumb, is the sharp slope this stands on. The risks, the death of innocent people, the instability of it all and where it may lead. Look at Cuba. Ask an Argentinian or a Salvadorian how their families were affected by revolution.
Yeah.
It's not fucking fun. It's not cool. It's not badass. It's reckless. It's often haphazardly thought out. It's scary. And throughout history, it has very seldomly come out on the side of the revolutionaries. So it's often a losing battle.
Yeah. At best, they do affect incremental changes about certain things.
A really great thing I read about revolution when I was looking at this was this professor who said a revolution is a fun, temporary fix.
Yeah.
Like, that's how people, that's how it's been. Like, basically, like, the most successful revolutions are the French Revolution and the United States when we took off. But most of the time, yeah, it's just like, they kind of gain some power and then they don't know what to fucking do with it.
Right.
And then shit just slowly goes back.
Because by nature, they tend to be chaotic.
Exactly.
You know? Like, how are you going to run shit if, like...
you're fucking popping off.
Yeah.
Sawing off machine guns, filling bullets with cyanide.
Breeding Frenchies.
So would you fault her? Because she was 19 when she was kidnapped.
No, honestly, I still, like, I'm Team Patty. Like, I get it. I understand what happened to her, and
Me too.
You know?
She has, I don't know if I understand it. And I don't know what side I'm on, honestly. I'm at a crossroads. She has since stated that she was unhappy in her relationship with Steven when she was kidnapped, but her parents were very mad at her for moving in with him before they got married. So she was trapped. She felt trapped in that relationship.
Oh.
She was 19. Like I said, she was naive, on the verge of becoming a real adult, whatever that means. Would it be so hard for us to believe that maybe she fell for it? The camaraderie, the movement, for God's sake, the cool ass trench coats and sunglasses.
But see, if you think that, then you're removing all context. You're removing, like, the fact that she was
kidnapped.
She was, yes.
Jeffrey Toobin says in his book something kind of interesting, saying, like, did she fall for it and join freely, or was it Stockholm syndrome, like you say? And maybe he's taking it out of context, but it is interesting. Either way, she joined, right? What makes it Stockholm syndrome versus just her own rational thoughts? She has said that she developed a great affinity for the group while she was taken hostage. Is it just that she was rich and had a good enough lawyer at the end? Like, if it was another person, would they have been convicted heavily?
Ooh, good question.
After she was arrested, Toobin says, quote, she responded rationally then too. She said, yeah, I don't want to be a part of all this lunacy anymore. I recognize that my family loves me now. I recognize that I want to go back to my former life. And that's the position she took at that convenient point. People think she had a lot of opportunities to get away. This is hard for me to swallow because I think she was scared. And people say that about, like, women who are battered, and it bothers me. Like, just leave. Like, it's that fucking simple.
Yeah.
But there were some times, on the one hand, let me tell you these arguments, because what people think is, like, the SLA wasn't this highly complicated organization. At their fucking peak, they were a total of 13 members.
But motherfucking crazy Batman villains, you know?
Professor Wolfston.
Yeah, these aren't regular people. She wasn't going to walk out of there like that guy walked out of prison. You know? Like, she
She could have driven. She had the getaway car.
She had the getaway car. That's true. But it had a ticket, so she wasn't going to risk that shit.
Then she's going to have to fucking pay it for them.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Imagine if you're a Hearst, how many times people expect you to pick up the check.
They had Patty paying for the sawed-off shotguns, the berets, and the sunglasses and shit.
So there is some tea on good old little Patty.
Mm-hmm.
During the demise of the SLA, several interesting facts came to light. One of the other founding members, Will Wolfe, had a physician for a father who hired a private detective upon learning of his son's involvement in the urban guerrilla group.
And this was the same private detective that the Rivera family used.
I know we're friends because I had a parentheses with Rivera detective right here. So I figured if you didn't make the joke, I would.
Okay.
Amongst the investigators' findings included evidence that while a student at UC Berkeley, Little Miss Patty Hearst attended several BCA meetings in order to tutor over a year before her kidnapping.
Okay, I don't like that, but maybe that's how the SLA became aware of her. That's how she popped up on their radar. Oh, like, you know who would be good to fucking kidnap? Homegirl who works with, you know,
the BCA?
The BCA.
Which is them.
Yeah, exactly.
The BCA is the SLA.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know who would be good to kidnap? Homegirl who, you know Patty.
Yeah.
You know Patty, right?
You know Patty. Remember Patty?
Yeah, let's get her. And then, so that's not, I'm okay with it, I guess.
Okay. Well, I think we'll never know because she'll never change her story and everyone else is dead.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm on her side. If she did what she had to do to survive by joining the SLA, then props to her. Mm-hmm. And in the end, also, if she did what she had to do to stay the fuck out of jail by turning her back on the SLA, then props to her again. I get it. Mm-hmm. You have to worry about yourself because no one else is going to. We all do what we have to do in order to survive. Patria o muerte. Venceremos.
Hey.
And that's the story of Patty Hearst.
That was awesome, Steph.
Thanks.
I got a Patty Hearst fun fact.
Bloop.
Do you know who Patty Hearst's son-in-law is?
Son? Oh, yeah. Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick, yeah. So Patty Hearst was in the news earlier in the summer because she was out here defending Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know about little Miss Patty Hearst.
Patty's not the best judge of character. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely not.
I wonder how much money she has now.
Oh, me too. I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure they're not as wealthy as obviously her grandfather was, but I'm sure they don't have to work. They have homes and, you know, cars and
guns.
Yeah, guns and cyanide.
Well, that was awesome. Okay, sounds like we're Team Patty.
We are Team Patty. Either way. Even if she joined or not, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
Do you, home baby boo?
You're a POW and
yeah, for sure.
And you know what? Also, I'm still here for your outfits. So
yeah, me too. Shout out to berets, trench coats, bell bottoms, and boots. Fucking sunglasses. Those sunglasses are cool as shit.
If you want to hear us romanticize more problematic
about the
people,
SLA movement, tune in Monday. Oh no, yeah.
Listen to future podcasts in which we talk about people with maybe not as cool outfits, but still.
Another great outfit, problematic group of people, Heaven's Gate. Shout out to Heaven's Gate, everybody.
All right, guys, hit us on the hotline at 505-539-0556.
And hit us up on social media at Drama Club Pod, Twitter and Insta.
Let us know what stories you want us to talk about. We've been taking a lot of requests lately.
We have a lot of Spanish character requests. Gloria Trevi,
Chalino
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, so tell us what you want to hear about. We'll probably do it. Oh, please keep giving us reviews.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We got 2 new ones today, so thank you to those people.
Oh, that's cool. I have not checked today.
They were cute.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No 4 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars only. Thanks. And goodbye.
5 and above. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
However, whatever with your helmet.